thank you for taking the time to join the Liberty Chronicle for this short stint.
Yes.
I wanted to give you a minute to be able to explain how you want to handle criminal justice reform from the top down, accountability, all the things that are on the minds of millennials and the issues that go along with that today.
Well, I think that we have the highest incarceration rates of any country in the world. I refuse to believe that we are any less law-abiding in the United States than other countries. And I think at the root of that is mandatory sentencing. I think the root of that is drug laws. That because of our drug laws, we have tens of millions of Americans who are convicted felons that otherwise would be tax-paying, law-abiding citizens. So starting with the legalization of marijuana, starting with ending the drug war, looking at drugs first as a health issue rather than a criminal justice issue, I think that takes giant steps forward with regard to criminal justice reform. Black Lives Matter, I also think has its roots in the drug war, but Black Lives Matter, there still is discrimination that is taking place in this country. And if you are of color, there's a much greater likelihood that you will be arrested for behavior that I think is oftentimes egged on, as opposed to me being white. I'm not pushed around to where I'm going to yell back. I think if you are of color, I think you're subject to being pushed around more.
Would you see any type of involvement, like with the FBI, like the Color Law Division, to be able to work more locally with local law enforcement to help prevent a lot of the tragedies we're seeing?
Yes, and the Department of Justice specifically, that the Department of Justice would be able to identify common threads that exist in best areas of discrimination, least amount of violence. Of course, also be able to identify worst discrimination, worst cases of violence, but pointing out those common threads from a federal government standpoint, I think that the federal government could have an impact on local communities, states.
Thank you, Governor, for your time.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot, guys.